The last thing I remember is I got into an accident that knocked me out, and I got out of unconsciousness just a few hours ago. These guys want something from me in Joy's exchange. I need to figure this out.
I don't want anything to happen to our daughter. Your stubbornness is admirable. And since we both have an understanding of how much business I mean, I left him sit on your couch. We enjoyed our time together. But now focus. I didn't hold the second young lady.
What about my daughter?
Now you have a maximum of 2 minutes to exit this building.
I said, what about my daughter?
I'll give you seconds to go, Fidel. Run, barrister.
My name is Musing, and I'm a film producer and director from Cameroon. And I'm right here in the United States to premiere my movie entitled When the Levees Broke. If you speak to 10 Cameroonians about film, you'd be surprised that maybe 6 or 7 will tell you I don't watch Cameroonian movies. We shot this movie while the AFCON was ongoing in Cameroon. The entire African continent was in Cameroon.
Besides her that you see, there's a myriad multitude of us who are just voices on the film.
It's always the man that is the bad man.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question because here I know you just said gender-based violence. It didn't say female or male, but
Yes.
anybody looking at that title quickly assumes that it's violence against women. All right, guys, welcome to the Undocumented Studios here in Upper Marlboro. How you guys doing today?
We're good, and it feels good to be here. It feels good to be out here.
All right, so in the studio this evening, I have Mr. Derek Musing, who is producer and director, and Mr. Z, who is an actor in one of his movies, the one we are going to be talking about this evening. Again, thank you for joining us today to discuss this movie. I think it's a very powerful movie that sheds light in the corruption and gender violence that is rampant today in the world that we live in. So I do have a few questions that I would like us to discuss to kind of get a better understanding of the movie and also to understand the process, the pains, the difficulties that you guys face during the production. Are you guys ready?
That's the reason why we're here.
As a matter of fact, before I even get into the questions that I've prepared for you guys, Mr. Musing, can you just give us a brief introduction of yourself, maybe a quick background of your professional life?
Well, like you already said, my name is Musing Derek, and I'm a film producer and director from Cameroon. And I'm right here in the United States to premiere my movie entitled When the Levees Broke. I started filmmaking in 2002, and I have been opportune to produce or to direct way over 10 to 15 feature films.
Okay.
And I've been opportune to have 3 titles on Netflix. The technical director for The Fisherman's Diary. I am the
I've watched that movie. I think there is this guy there. The producer, is it
Quintus?
Quintus.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
I see.
I'm also director of therapy, co-director of therapy, and then I'm also co-director of Ngano with Quintus again. Yeah, these 3 titles have been opportune to be featured on Netflix, and well. I am a multi-award winning film director with over 50 international awards, and director-producer of When the Levees Broke now. That has had over 30 festival selections with at least 20 wins. Yes. I'm also a presidential medalist holder in Cameroon. thanks to my merit as a filmmaker and my contribution to the cultural sector of Cameroon.
That is such an impressive resume there. Thank you very much. And I'll turn over to Mr. Z. I know you're an actor in the most recent movie, the movie that you guys are here in the States to kind of premiere. I wouldn't start asking you about this movie. However, I'd like to just go back a little bit and how did you get into acting?
So it dates back to, I used to do music before I got into acting. And when you do music, what happens is you have to shoot a music video.
Right.
And then the music video is a short film. So you do that one too many times and you realize that you have to act for the camera the best way you can. So I migrate over from Cameroon to here to the States, and I get to meet, a few, film lovers who would go, we can do this. And I go, let me give it a try, because I already did it when I did music videos in 2003 and 4 or 5 before I left Cameroon. So I thought it was fun. It was amazing to be able to do a little bit more feature over like a 3 or 4 minute music video.
Right.
And I felt comfortable with it. And sometimes it's just nice to be somebody else but yourself. And that's how it kicked off. It kicked off with acting, and then it morphed into the other realms of the film production life, be it a producer, one exec, one editor, or writer, or whatever that case may be. But that's how it morphed out of. It started from music videos, and then we morphed into that. So.
Okay, thank you for that background. I will turn back to you, Mr. Musing. And my first question to you about the recent movie, the movie you guys are promoting, is what was your original inspiration behind when the Levees Broke?
Yeah.
And how did you choose the title to reflect corruption and gender violence?
I always say that arts is a spiritual thing. Okay. And after having done way over 10 feature films, I thought at a certain moment that it was time for me to do things differently. If you've watched my movies, you realize that I don't like deja vu.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a creative, deja vu is very bad for your career. Will be very bad for your career.
So I found myself at this realm where I wanted to tell a story differently. Now we are talking about corruption and gender-based violence, and everybody's talking about it. And when they do it, it feels like it's a competitive fight. But for me, I wanted to come from the government part of it. I wanted to come from a different angle. But again, if I just had to tell a story about gender-based violence, I mean, there are 1,001 stories out there. And then it kicked in on me, dawned on me that, why don't you tell the story differently?
Okay.
Attract that possibility for people to understand that you exactly master your art and you know what you're doing. And I found myself realizing, okay, I want to tell a story with just one character. I'll tell you without mincing words that it's that moment when I went to the streets as a madman, not realizing that I had done that, because I wrote the story. So you're trying to write a story and you're blocked somewhere. It feels like, okay, what the heck with one character? Just let the second or third character come in. It's still going to be a nice story.
Right, especially considering there are tons and tons of actors out there ready to come in and...
Exactly. But again, that spiritual grip of arts kept on telling me it has to be one character. And I kept on pushing.
Just a quick follow-up from what you just said. Why did you think that being different was so... Why was it so important to you?
There is James Cameron out there. The only reason why you talk about him is because his films are different from those of Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that they are not both good filmmakers. But
absolutely.
They have their identities. And I am coming from Cameroon. When you talk about Cameroonian films, most people will tell you, Nigeria is doing this, Ghana is doing this. You understand? And I am exceptionally happy that today we're talking about When the Levees Broke, and this movie has had the opportunity to route African countries, and everybody's like, where are you from? You shouldn't even be doing films in Africa. You understand?
Right.
Now, that's a fulfillment for me that at one moment I thought I wanted to do it differently. And then we did it differently, and we are here. You asked me a question, which I'm going to send back to Z, because when I initially wrote When the Levees Broke, what we have today as When the Levees Broke, the first title was On My Honors.
Okay.
On My Honors.
So what inspired the change?
I sent the script to a certain madman called Z, and he told
So
me,
he inspired the title.
and he asked me, bro, after reading this thing, don't you think this title should be When the Levees Broke? So probably he should be the one answering that question. Why the title?
Yeah, I mean, so what do you have to add as far as the inspiration of the title of the movie and the actual act in the movie?
The art speaks for itself. And as writers, sometimes you underestimate what you've written.
Okay.
You write the Picasso and you forget that you just written the Picasso. I can see art all over this place. He wrote a Picasso and he said, read it. And I read it and I said, can we not? And I said, the title is good, but this is a Picasso. And I go, you want a title that when somebody hears it and sees it, it commands authority, stature. It stands. It's like the Statue of Liberty. This is one of those. So when you look at what happens is this, I mean, you talk about the film as we go, but there's a lot of things that get unleashed out. And if you think about what a levee is, it separates chaos from calm. What happens when that levee breaks?
Chaos and calm become one.
Thank you.
I don't know what you can call that. But
I have nothing else to say. I have nothing else to say.
Okay, yeah. But before I even go back to Mr. Musing, this was supposed to be a question for him. But as I'm thinking through it, I thought maybe I should ask you first, and then he will add whatever he wants to add to your answer. Why do you think Mr. Musing thought you would be the best character to play this role on screen?
Well, so he already mentioned it's a one character film. It's a one character on screen. And that's the amazing Stephanie too, right? So she is carrying it all. Now, besides her that you see, there's a myriad multitude of us who are just voices on the film. So as good as you cast characters for on-screen, he did the same process to cast the characters for off-screen, just being on the voice. You cannot cheat that process. And I always say you got to trust the process. He believed that I fit into the best possible character to play Steve.
Okay.
Alongside, Stephanie, the lead. And amidst, all the other great actors and actresses who played on it. So I wouldn't say the art drove him to cast me to play the voice of Barrister Fidel's husband.
Okay.
And again, let me add to the fact that this is information I always give out because we're already here. In my vision, I'm looking forward to doing a sequel to the film.
Okay, very
and
good.
On the sequel, I want to have all the voice actors come to screen.
Okay.
So I didn't want a situation where I use Ben's voice, for example, on this first part of the film, and then during the sequel, you hear a certain Ambe talking. It's be like, okay, this voice doesn't
Match
what I heard
well,
before.
yeah.
So I was very intentional with my casting. Like there's Claudio Oben, there's Efa Ewara. If you've been opportune to watch King of Boys, the Nigerian,
yes, I have.
The guy who played the journalist, he's also a voice actor on the film. He is the antagonist. So we had to go all out to get the people that will come now to screen when we are doing the sequel. I didn't want any contradiction when we start the sequel.
Okay.
So it was intentional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So let me just move on and ask you my next question here. Why did you feel that film was the most effective medium to tell this story of corruption and gender violence as opposed to other ways such as activism, journalism, podcasting, and why did you think film would be the most effective way to tell your story?
I have done a lot of movies. I have a track record for not sticking to entertainment. Most people feel like film is just about entertainment. I like to spark conversations.
Okay, yeah.
And let's just be clinical with it. One of the cankerworm that is eating the African economy today is corruption.
100%
Most
agree with
African
you.
countries are stagnated because corruption is at its peak.
Yeah.
So I don't have a reason to just want to tell a story of John loves Mary, Mary loves John, and they cannot get married because one family is richer than the other. It doesn't help this kid who is going to watch this movie and blend into society, you understand, and then cannot probably understand what exactly is happening, why he cannot get a job, you understand. And I felt like our voices have been silenced. A lot of African voices have been silenced to the point where people are just scared to say the truth. But I kind of believe as a filmmaker that I could tell the truth without pointing a finger at you. If you come back at me, it means you're guilty.
Absolutely.
So let's get to converse. Why are you guilty? So that's how I look at it. So I decided to delve into this. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning, when most people treat the topic gender-based violence, it's always the man that is the bad man.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question because here I know you just said gender-based violence. It didn't say female or male, but
Yes.
anybody looking at that title quickly assumes that it's violence against women, right?
There's Stephanie Toom, Barrister Fidel, on the film,
Right.
and she gets hold of something that is going to bring someone down. This person's a top government official. And this guy's notion is like, who is this rat? Who is this brat? Because it's a woman.
Right.
You're versed with what would happen if it were a man, they will try to coerce him into, man, take your bags and go. But since it's a woman, the only thing they want to do is shut him down. And when people discuss gender-based violence, they would usually never go that route. Most people want to go to, okay, the husband is beating the wife, or the wife is beating the husband, or stuff like that. And I kind of felt like it was a moment for me to go the other route that people sleep under the carpet. So that's where I come from.
All right. Thank you for that. And let me bring you back into the conversation, Z. I know you've been sitting quietly, and I know lots of thoughts are going on in your mind. Really quick, as an experienced movie actor, how did it feel to be a voice actor in a one-character movie? I know it's sometimes very difficult to do, but you did it so seamlessly. How did it feel to you?
I don't mind doing that. Please, I'll do it again. Look, the beauty about that is I don't have to worry about mannerisms. Now, this is the tricky part about it, right? I'm going to tell you.
It's really, are you sure?
I'm going to tell you, though. I'm going to tell you.
Sure you don't have to worry about
I'm going to tell you, though.
Of course. I mean, don't you put your voice a particular
No.
way
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you something. I'm about to tell you something. Look at him.
Go on.
I'm about to tell you something. I don't have to worry about costume or makeup, so that's the easy part.
Yes.
But I have to feed this person anger, sadness, concern over and over, looking at the mic like I'm talking right now. And I cannot fault at any once because I may record my scenes and go away And that's what she needs to use to cue her, to drive her into the emotions. What if I faltered and I was not as emotional as possible? She doesn't get fed enough to be able to give the screens what they want. That's the tricky part about it.
Yeah.
And it seemed like an easy feat until we're doing rehearsals. And I was like, what the hell did I get myself into? I'm like, Derek, come on, this is not what I bargained for right here. Unfortunately. But it was a good experience. It made me appreciate the art of like the Lion King and Mufasa's and all of that. Because
characters are all in the
exactly,
background,
because if you don't, it has to come from the gut so that other person can feel it, because you are all never going to be in the same room at the same time.
So would you say your character in this movie was, where do you rate yourself in terms of how difficult it was for you to play this character in this in when the Levees Broke?
Nobody likes me.
Okay.
I gotta be honest with it. Nobody likes Steve. At some point, folks are like, "Is Steve involved?" Okay, what's up with Steve? All Steve is doing is, I love you. Like, geez, bro, say something else. I mean, at some point in the script recorded, I was like, can you all give me more lines than I love you? But,
let me, I have a follow-up, but I would like to bring Mr. Musing in before I come back to you. So, Mr. Musing, how did you structure the film to go beyond the violence, the corruption, into exploring the emotional trauma and the community takedowns and even say the resilience? How did you do that?
First of all, we shot post-COVID.
Okay.
But I wrote during the COVID.
A very good time to write.
Yes. No, like I wrote the story in the sense that it's happening during the COVID time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so in the story, the state has declared a health state of emergency because of the COVID. And now, why I was pushed to that point is because I watched a couple of one-character movies, and I realized that most of them, now, like I said, at the beginning, I wanted to take my art to another level. But then, I wanted to do a one-character story, not like confined in one space. I wanted to take the streets. I wanted to go to houses. I wanted this lady to use I would tell you something, okay?
Right.
If you know Douala, Cameroon very well, just like the Bay Bridge, is that what they call it?
Yes, the bridge.
Yes, yes. Okay, so imagine that you get into DMV and you block that bridge for 2 hours, 30 minutes to shoot a movie. It's chaos.
Absolute chaos.
But now that's the point where we wanted to give production value to this film. And you would be shocked to hear that we blocked a bridge like that back in Cameroon for 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Wow.
Now, it was us going all out to achieve our vision. It was that moment for us to be able to prove to fellow Cameroonians, because I'm sorry to break your heart, that if you speak to 10 Cameroonians about film, you'd be surprised that maybe 6 or 7 will tell you, I don't watch Cameroonian movies.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yes. And
I don't know why.
yeah.
But
And for me, this was that project where we needed to prove to Cameroonians and to the world that we are not gamblers and we are not doing it by chance. We know exactly what we're doing, because it takes a mountain of creativity. I'm not praising myself, to be able to have crafted the story to get to where it is. Now, like I already said, tell the same corruption story with every character on screen. It will be the same thing that everybody has seen.
right.
Maybe Hollywood has done it. But now the reason why we are catching a bigger favor and attention is because it came with just one character on screen. Yet, the message radiated all the way. People can relate with. People can feel the trauma. And, I mean, this woman is pierced to the core, because when she gets hold of some evidence that she thinks is her breakthrough, her daughter is kidnapped. I mean, there's no woman that you will sit and you're dealing with, okay, that point where you get to your professional apex and you have to defend your job. And you're placed to the option of choosing either to defend your job or lose your
to
daughter.
protect, right.
It's a deep place no woman wants to get to. And Steve is just there, stuck in London, and just saying, "I love you."
Right. I'm really glad
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
I'm glad he brought that up because I was going to ask Z about, like you said, your character is not much liked in this.
No one likes Steve, bro. No one likes that dude.
Did that affect you personally in any way?
Nah. Thing about it is, there are some characters, there are some roles that you take upon that it makes you take those roles back home. But sometimes, when you embody it enough, and you have a good crew and director around you to be able to guide you to leave it on set, that's good.
I think it is a heavy burden to carry, knowing that people don't like you. How do you deal with that?
But I think that he only got to realize that after people watched
watch the film.
When he was interpreting the role, it was just like,
I didn't feel that.
He was trying to put his professional prowess right out there.
Right.
But now people get to watch the film. It's just like, is this Steve?
So I tell you something. I landed in Cameroon on a day, and that same evening, or the next day, I think, we go to a function with a corporation, and then I get there, and then I'm going with him, and I'm being introduced, and he goes, "Oh, this is the dude that plays Steve." You have no idea what I get.
No idea.
Yo, it's like it's you. Bro, you're lucky you're here tonight. Because if it was that night, I would have punched you in the face. That's what I was getting. I mean, but that's the beauty of it. Right?
Yeah,
I
of
will
course.
give you one an example of this. Lakeview Terrace. Samuel L. Jackson. He was the black cop in that neighborhood. He's an amazing actor that people love. Everybody hates Samuel L. Jackson in
Because of
Lakeview
his
Terrace.
character in
Now,
that
if
movie.
you can interpret the character that much that people love to hate you,
Then you're doing a great job
you
as
delivered.
an actor.
So guess what? With the help of my director, I delivered.
Okay.
Thank you, Director Musing.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that you're not even bothered about the hate, but I think it's hate that is coming from a good place.
I take it. It's the art.